Hello, and welcome to this tutorial video where I am going to walk you through how to fix the issue of having HTML content that contains images without a description or without a meaningful description. So you'll find another video on what to do if you have a document that contains images without a description or meaningful description, but this is going to be HTML. So this will be like if you have a page just like this, where you have an image embedded on your actual page on your canvas. So you can see here, I have the image on my page that's giving instructions on the lab activity that we'll be doing today. And down here, you can see my sad little accessibility score, but we're going to fix that. Here, this box is not empty. It doesn't say that I don't have a description at all. It's saying I don't have a meaningful description, because what you can see here is it's just a link to the web page that I got this image from, which likely auto-populated when I put that image in, because I don't think I ever put this alt text in, which can happen sometimes. Alt text is more or less a brief description of the image that helps a screen reader understand what the image is and convey that to the user of the screen reader. So good alt text will be accurate, concise, and really focused on the purpose of the image within the context of your course. Before you write anything in your alt text, you'll really want to think about, why is your image there? If it's just decorative, you can mark it as decorative. And so down here, there's the indicator that says indicate image is decorative. And so if this was just a really cute picture of my dog and had no meaning whatsoever for my course, I could just say indicate image is decorative. And so there's no description that's really needed for that unless you wanted to provide one, but that's not necessary. But if this image is instructional, like this one is, we want to describe only the essential information that students will need. We want to keep it short, 1 or 2 sentences typically at most, and avoid unnecessary details like colors or backgrounds unless they matter for learning. So for this one, it would not be necessary for me to say there's small white flowers on a blue background, because that's not the point of the picture. The point of the picture is the 5 mother sauces on the plates. That's what we're going for. We also don't want to start with image of, because obviously we know it's an image of because we're writing alt text for an image. For complex visuals like charts, maps, or diagrams, you can use alt text plus a longer description in a caption or the surrounding text. Don't write a huge paragraph within that alt text if you have a complex image. But your goal is simple with alt text. Make sure that every student gets the same information, whether they can see the image or not. So for the purpose of this image, we will put in our alt text here. Here is one that I would write for this image. We'll zoom in here close so you can see. So it's not saying image of, we know it's an infographic, so they know multiple pictures with words beneath it, titled The 5 Mother Sauces, showing illustrations of dishes representing each sauce. Each sauce appears on a plate with a brief ingredient description beneath it. Really short, to the point. You can also click auto-generate description, and it's going to be even shorter than the one I put in, but quite similar, as you can see. And I like the one that I wrote a little bit better. It had a tiny bit more information on there. And so I am going to include the one that I wrote. If you are feeling like you're struggling with writing these alt texts, we can lean on our friend AI for this. You can always go to ChatGPT or whatever you use, put the picture into it, and say, write alt text for this image. And you can say shorter, you can say longer, and it will do whatever you ask. And then you can copy paste and put it in. So we will click save, and now it's perfect. So hopefully that helped in describing a little bit about alt text and why it's important, and a good example of what you could use and some examples of what you wouldn't do. If you have any questions about how to use alt text for HTML images or for any other images, or just any other questions in general, feel free to reach out to Cetl at uidaho.edu. That is CETL@uidaho.edu, or swing by our office to say hey and ask us our questions here. We are in Ed 220. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye-bye.